Packages to the operator.
There he is,
My
Ruben
bad.
Ramos.
I apologize to everybody for me not being able to figure it out that quick because this is like social media live is still new to me. I've only done this a couple of times. One with I think I don't know if you know Bob Palatino, and then with
Molotano.
Marcelo Olivar.
So I'm gonna ask you.
I've only done this. This is my third time.
Okay, I got you. You know I got you. So because a lot of people didn't hear it, can you tell us what are some of your fondest memories with your brother?
My fondest memories of my brother is, man, there's so many of them. But one I could say is that there was a time before, during the time that we did, like, when he was dabbling into freestyle music. We also lived a rough life on the street. He was always my brother. Though he was like my superhero, right? A big bro, superhero. So there was times when we were like we were put into foster homes. That's another story, but we were put into foster homes, and finally we were living together, for a few years now. And my brother was going to a school in San Jose called San Jose High School, California, right in Cali, where I'm at right now. And so, this is the first time I was like, because there was times when I was in school where I couldn't defend myself. And my brother was like, you know what? And he was the second best wrestler in his team in San Jose High. So he was really he had hands. The boy had hands, and so I was like, I wasn't looking for the opportunity, like just because of that reason, but I felt that because my brother was always protective of me. Some dudes got crazy one time over I think it was a girl that I was like dating, and that little puppy love in junior high school. And so one day I guess this dude he was like trying to talk to her or something at a dance. That's what it was. It was at a high school dance. And what do you call it? So we were there, and the dude's like right in my face. I go, dude, what are you trying to do? Trying to talk to my girlfriend. And this dude's kind of like a big dude, I'm still what was it? I think I was in the 8th grade or out of the 8th grade, and this dude was already like a senior in high school. And the dude pushed me, right? He pushed me like he was gonna. If I wouldn't have got out of the way or whatever and left, he probably would have just did some damage. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna call my brother. I'm gonna tell my brother what you just did, right? So the next day, I guess I told my brother about it. It was that same day I told my brother about it. Oh, this dude's a bully. He's gonna kick my ass. You know what I mean? I need your help. And it's my brother's like, what? Really? Where is he at? Show me where he's at right now. So my brother started he was already in shape because he was well trained for the wrestling, right? His attitude was like, he was so into the wrestling thing that discipline himself. He had to trim down, do a regimen, all that stuff, and stay focused on that. He wouldn't even eat nothing. It was like a spiritual thing to him. And so he was just ready, for to practice his wrestling on somebody, And so he's like, show me where this dude's at. Show me where this fool's at. And I'm all right. And then so I told my brother where that dude was going to be at, because I told him, if you want to get crazy, just me and my brother over here. They're from the San Jose High School. So that we went over there. My brother, he went over there, mobbed over there or whatever. And then, what do you call it? But that dude never showed up. Because then I come to find out that he heard that it was my brother, and he got all oh, wait a minute. That's who his brother is, Ernesto, Ernie. Because back then they called him Ernie. He wasn't even known as Rocky, right? Until later. So that's one of my memories of and it made me feel good because I was like, you know what, these dudes, they kind of fear my brother, right? And I'm like, damn it, that's cool right there. Other than that, there's other memories we just basically my dad especially used to always try to teach us music, because my dad was a musician, bass player, wrote a lot of song, love ballad, like R&B music. So we just constantly were just like always involved with the music, especially my brother. Like he was, like I said before, his passion for music was more like he had that direct connection to the music. I don't know what it was about him. It was almost a spiritual thing. And with me, I had the passion for it, but I was more like reserved, more introverted. You know, that's some of the things I remember about my brother. And I remember my mom telling me when we finally, I introduced him to a friend of mine in San Jose. We're part of a neighborhood that we did most of our growing up at. And his dude was a DJ, and I met him originally because we were doing our like this rap music, right? He was half black and half Mexican. His name was Ramos, right? And Ramos was like he was like a DJ and everything. And I remember in class doing the beatbox, this and that. And so he liked what I was doing. He goes, you know what? I could record you. We can go back to my house and record. And then I mentioned it to my brother. I go, dude, you gotta meet this guy Ramos because he says he could do and back. So that's a thing, right? East Coast, y'all call it. I've always called it freestyle, right? Well, back in the West Coast, out here, we call it high energy, right? So when I mentioned that to my friend Ramos, I go, I got to introduce you to my brother because you say you can do all this. He goes, yeah, I could do high energy music. You know, tell him to come over. So I introduced that dude to my brother, you know, and next thing you know, we started putting the group together. And so, like I said, my brother was always, you know, he was like charismatic, but at the same time, kind of like, in a sense, people mistaked him for being stubborn when he really wasn't a stubborn person. It's just that he didn't like, it's just like anybody else when you're at that age where you can see when somebody's just trying to be full of BS and trying to like get over. My brother could sense it quick at a young age, and somebody's trying to get over or somebody's trying to be mischievous or trying to be deceptive, you know. So he was already on top of his game with that kind of shit. And so, you know, I was like, like I said, I always kind of like just went in a way to say it. Another way of saying it, like kind of went for the ride that he was going in the direction he was going, just to see where it would go. Because like I said, I looked up to my brother, Rocky, and you know, so one day it was just crazy how it happened. One day it was just like, so we're in this group called New School. So it was like we were just a bunch of kids. We didn't know what type of music we really wanted to do. So we just like included like several genres of music. Like it was rap in the group. Like in other words, we'd have a project which was all rap and R&B, and then another time it would be another song would be a freestyle track, right? And no particular direction with this group though. It was just like, this is crazy how it ended up turning out. So one day my brother's like, so what had happened was at dude Ramos's house, we used to practice at their house, right? At his house. And we were kids, you know, like I say, we were probably like, what, 16, 17, 8, you know, that age. And his mom his mom and his dad would get mad at us. We're like, you know what? You guys are making way too much noise with this music. You guys need to his mom, Ramos's mom, told him straight out specifically, said, look, you're going to have to go somewhere else with this music. So we're like, what? We thought that was going to be it because we thought we were going to be asked out. We're like, how are we going to go pursue our dream? We're kids pursuing a dream, right? And so until one day, Ramos said, hey, I found a spot where we can go practice at. We don't have to be at my mom's or dad's house anymore. We can go downtown San Jose, First and Santa Clara Street, a place called Upstairs Records. He goes, you know where Upstairs is at, right? I go, yeah, of course. Because we, you know, back then that was a spot people to go buy their vinyl, their CDs, and shit, you know, stuff like that. And so he's like, yeah, I talked to the guy there, because I guess it just so happened that the dude, there was a dance choreographer in San Jose. He was in a movie called, remember that movie? It was called, it was like a cumbia movie. It was like a cumbia movie. I'm trying to remember that one. It was hang it. I can't think of the name right now, but everybody knows this movie. It was like an 80s movie, right? But he starred in it, so his dancing was that good. So he choreographed a lot of girls with their dancing, right, in a little dance studio. And my friend Ramos had asked him, hey, you know, is it okay when we can use your space? I don't think that dude was doing it for free. That part I don't remember. I think he had to charge him or something. Like he was giving us some kind of money for us to stay there. We lived in that dude's dance studio, put it that way. Me, Ramos, and my brother Rocky, and a couple other bandmates, right? That group, New School. And so we chilled there, but right next door, Kitty Cat, like in the same hallway, was Upstairs Records, which the dude John Lopez was who signed my brother, gave him that record deal. They recorded that song's Precious. So I think what had happened is I remember one day my brother's all, that dude John Lopez pulled him to the side. He says, I can hear you guys practice all the time, because he used to walk by and ear hustle on our music and be like, man, what's going on here? And he'd be like, just listen. And he liked what he heard. He liked my brother's voice. He's all, you know what? I got a song. I have a concept of a song for you. And he's all, what did he say? He's like, something like that. It sounded. He reminds him of Stevie B, right? And then so my brother's all, really? He goes like, you took that as a compliment or whatever. He goes, okay. He goes, well, let's hear the verse, because they already had a verse written. So my brother checked out the verse and everything. He's reading it, and he liked what he heard. And then he started recording that song without us even knowing at the time yet that, you know, he was like, you know what? This is his transition from going from what we were doing into a real music thing, and, you know. So that's what ended up happening. He ended up just telling us one day, he's like, look, bro, that's it. He's all, I'm done with New School. I'm signing with Upstairs Records. We're all, what? We looked at him all like, damn, how did you do that? So we were all shocked. We were shocked.
So I gotta tell you something. Turn around and look up. Turn around and look up at the sign behind you.
Which one?
The sign you're looking at. Look at the name on the sign.
On the sign? Oh, right there, Rock. Yeah, Rock.
So I have another.
My brother's
question.
all around me. My brother's all around me.
Amen. So
Amen.
I have another.
Thank
Go
you,
ahead.
Lord. No, go ahead. You ask the questions, B. You ask the questions.
I have another question.
You put me on your show. What's up?
How was your brother's demeanor during his, during his final moments? Can you tell us about that?
You mean of his passing?
Right before.
Before he had passed?
Yes.
Well, it's kind of hard for me to tell. Like,
okay.
Obviously, you know, it's kind of emotional, but he wanted to talk to me. You know what I mean? I didn't get a chance to really talk to him, but he was too sick already. He was at the point that, like, he even let it be known, because, you know, he was always on social media and everything. This virus was so severe to his because he had a pre-existing condition, which was diabetes, and he had a lung problem. Before, that's what a lot of people don't know. My brother had already had a lung problem before COVID. So, well, let's just rewind this back to 2017, right? Somewhere around there, I think late 16 into 2017, my brother had already, like, my mom one day called me and said, Mijo, I got something to tell you about your brother. She just completely caught me off guard, you know, because I was just living my everyday life. And me, I get, like, really, I'm one of those type of siblings, I get worried about my loved ones. But if I hear anything. So my mom had told me, she's like, your brother, his lungs aren't that good. What do you mean? She goes, well, he's on a respirator now. And right when she told me that, but the way that my mom had said it, it had already scared me. Like, I thought that he was already going to die. And this was in 2007. This is 3 years before COVID, right? or almost 4 years. And so I was already concerned for his well-being, his health. And I'm on, why is he on? I'm thinking in my mind, why is my brother like, I don't understand. He's diabetic. Why does he have lung problem? I don't get it. My mom, she has a lung problem. Like, she has like I don't know if it's a mild case. It's not a severe case, but she does have asthma. So I don't know if this is something that we have that's in our family. But either way, so my mom told me that. I'm like, dang, I don't understand it. So they had to give him that. His doctor gave him a respirator years ago, like a few years back. He's been using a respirator off and on. So I don't know what that's really caused by. He never really told me, but I know that every now and then he like when he felt like he couldn't breathe right, he would use a respirator. So that's what told me that when my nephew came down with the fever, came to the house and gave it to my brother and the family there, it's like that's without really put me on alert, and I'm thinking like, man, I need to call. So I called my brother as fast as I could to see what was happening. So my brother was like, I told him, I go, bro, are you okay? You okay? And he's telling me, oh, I think I have COVID. So he went and tested, and they tested positive for it. When they had already tested positive for it, I go, hey, of course you have it. They had it, and they said, but at the time they didn't. That's what I remember now. They didn't know if they had it or not. But when they said that they had it, and he found out that he had the COVID, that's how he got it. Was from my nephew. And so I told him, are you going to go to the hospital? Come on, bro, you need to go to the hospital. I kept trying to get him to go to the hospital. I kept trying to tell him to go to the hospital. And so he finally did. My brother was kind of, I'm not going to say, I don't want to say what everybody else says, but people think that my brother's stubborn. But just like myself, I don't know, you can't always trust a doctor, because not every time is a doctor 100% accurate, right? We all know this. So that's what I think for my brother, I can see where he's coming from. He just wasn't going to rush that fast until he knew for a fact, right? So at the time, my brother was confident that he was going to fight this virus and overcome it at the time. So,
okay.
He talked to, I don't know if you know that guy by the name of Anthony Acosta. He's also an upcoming freestyle singer. That my brother made music. He made some tracks for him. And then, they became good friends. He talked to my brother. At this point, the only person that he talked to, the last person he talked to, which wasn't me, because I couldn't understand why. Well, I did understand, but for some reason my brother was. One of the reasons why is because I used to stress my brother out just by talking to him. Because me, I'm one of those type of people. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, sometimes I can make conversations extreme. So I guess my brother didn't want me to agitate his symptoms and make it worse just with stress alone. So at that point on, he wasn't talking to me. He was just like, I was like calling him the hospital, and he wasn't answering any of my calls. But I saw him on social media a couple of times, asking people to pray for him and stuff like that. But at the same time, he was confident that he was going to beat the virus. So I was confident he was going to beat it. So when they had sent him back the first time, which we didn't understand, I was like, why did this hospital, Fresno, California, where he lived in that area, they sent him back when he had a temperature of 102. I couldn't figure that out. That didn't add up. And my brother was really, really disappointed that they actually sent him back home. And so he went back. His fever was like up and down. Like, he broke the temperature, good, and all of a sudden he'd be back with fever again. Then it got bad, and I told him, I go, bro, don't play around because, I've been in the hospital for certain things that I deal with, right? So my experience with dealing with hospitals is that, hold on, I got this little itchy throat because I'm out here, is that if one place doesn't work, you still have that water? And I get some water, I'm starting to get throat itchy. If one hospital is not working, go to the next one until you find the right one, right? One of them is going to have the resources. It's going to have the right equipment. They're going to be better equipped, more. They're going to have the right type of, stuff to help. Apparently, the second hospital that he went to, he had to rush to the hospital because at this point, he couldn't breathe well. He couldn't breathe. So that's the straw that they broke the camel's back. And I know we knew that part. He had COVID. He's already diagnosed as having COVID positive. Then he rushed to the hospital because of the respiratory. Couldn't breathe. I was like, oh, okay, something's happening now. I'm like, all I could do is keep praying for my brother. And from that point on, that was the last time that I heard from my brother.
Okay. Well, I most certainly do not want to rehash, the process that you went through, because I know it's still fresh in your mind and it's hard to talk about. Um, but tell us, what are you looking to achieve with your brother's music from here on out, now that he has passed away?
There's so many things that I get sad because I feel that my brother hasn't been able to complete everything, his mission, his entire mission with his music. He hasn't done a legit music video. He hasn't done any music videos. And then I see other artists that came after him that they have a video, but then their vocals, to me, they're not like sharp. My brother's vocals were like this. He had this angelic voice, and there was times that I didn't even, at the time before he had COVID, because we had two different music directions. You know what I mean? So I never, how would I say this? I never gave him the credit at the time that he really deserved. I knew that my brother was very talented. I looked up to him a lot, But I always felt as me being being an all-out musician. I mean, he could make hip hop because he really loved hip hop and rap, even though a lot of people never saw that side of him, right? And he had a countless hip hop unreleased material. Like he has a vault unreleased hip hop. It's just like it's volumes, right? So at the time, I just thought that he was gonna just stick with just his freestyle music, which he did. And I never really up till recently. I really love one of his songs that he never got to put out there, which is "Love You to the Break of Dawn," right? In my opinion, I think his singing. I really paid attention. My brother really studied. He really trained his voice to sound authentic and spiritual. I feel I know you guys could probably be saying, well, in my mind, I'm saying that because I miss my brother, all this other stuff. That's one thing, but for another, it's that I actually feel in my heart that he did have something special about him. That's why he became the person that he was with the music. And one of the main things was how his voice, how he was just so natural. He was just so natural with his music. And So, saying that to say that now that I see that yeah, she has such a rare talent. Yeah, I just want to carry that on. I want to. I wish we could have did a video together. I wish I could have made a video with him. He was in the process before this COVID pandemic hit. He was going to record a music video. I think it was out here in San Jose, in Cali, and he didn't get the chance to do that. So I want to be able, now that I've honed in on my craft and I know how to make my own music videos, what better way than to go back and dig into some of his music and make music videos to his music.
Absolutely.
So that's what I plan to do. I plan to, aside from my hip hop stuff, I'm just going to, for now, dabble more into just carrying on my brother's legacy, tribute to him, and do it in a musical way. Like, be more of a musician. It's in my roots, it's in my blood to be this Ramos musician. We were all Ramos musicians. My dad, Ernesto Ramos, Uncle Rudy Ramos, cousin Rudy, as well as myself. A few other cousins, but I don't really talk about them because they're like that. We don't communicate. I don't even communicate with those guys. But it's just all a family thing that I want to get out of the way, and I want people to see that, you know what I mean. This is something that I'm doing for my brother. It's from my heart. I don't expect for people. I'm not trying to like get people to think that, oh yeah, you're just trying to be a freestyle artist. No, I'm a musician first. And everything else last. I'm a musician first, so whether people, because you're always going to have people that critique, no matter what. So I don't care about that. It's not about that. It's about me having my brother's spirit live. That's it. More, no less.
Very well. I want to definitely thank you for doing this interview. A lot of people were waiting. I appreciate you, and I always got your back.
Thank you, V. Thank you. I appreciate that.
We talk a lot on the phone.
Yes, we do. And then there's a lot of people right here too. Like there's Rebecca Ramirez. Says, you and your brother look like twins. Thanks for sharing his story. He was a great person, so full of magic. Aw, thank you, Rebecca. Thank you so much. But you know what? Like everybody says that me, I look just like my brother. But actually, if you guys see my mother, my brother looks more like my mom, and I look more like my dad.
You do look like your dad.
Yeah, you know this. But yeah, he looks, and he acts. It's crazy because he has like a lot of my mom's. This is the thing, and no pun intended to my brother, rest in peace. Because I know if I were to say this and he was here physically, he'd be like, nah, bro, don't say that shit. Because like he would argue with my mom. They would always argue. You know how that is, right? Every family. So, thing is, he doesn't want to be compared to his mom or his dad. That's just how my brother was. But I mean, and he would not mind being compared in the positive way, but like as far as because they're like their personalities, the negative side to that, he's like, nah, I don't want to have nothing to do with that, right? But I think that he's kind of like reminds me of a little bit of my mom, a little bit of my dad, right? The way he played. Spiritually, in the spiritual sense, him and my dad are almost to the T, right? I mean, they could quote scriptures and talk about God like. And they have this love for God it's the same. Identical love for God. And then when it comes to my mom, as far as like the outgoing, my brother was always an outgoing person. He had this love for everybody that was just so freaking amazing. I didn't know how he had people, like he magnetized to everybody, like how people were magnetized to him. I don't know, it's just because he was natural with it. He didn't just like, he was real. The bottom line, he just kept it real. And he was a real person, and he just wanted people to just like not trip on the stupid crap. He hated when people tripped on the little ass shit. That was my brother right there. All in a nutshell.
So
Yvette Aguilar.
we're gonna conclude this interview. I'm gonna play your brother's song. I'm gonna give the viewers some chance to talk to you for about 5 minutes and ask you questions, and then I'm gonna let you go because I know you're doing your stuff. So we're gonna listen right now to Rocky Ramos Precious. Throw those hearts up, y'all.
People, there's gonna be a couple of people asking me questions. Fans, my brother's fans.
How much are your t-shirts?
Treasure.
How much are
Huh?
How much are your
How much is he what?
t-shirts?
Oh, I don't know. I think like probably most $20.
All right, so I'm gonna shout out a couple of interviews. Carmela Pastura. Hey girl, Anna Morales. I see you guys. Bob Politano, Sully Rodriguez, Mark Rodriguez, Rebecca Ramirez. Listen, guys, you know what? We just had a great interview with Ruben Ramos, the brother of the late Rocky Ramos. And you know what? The story needed to be told, how he's going to proceed with his brother's music, and so forth and so on. So if any of you guys have any questions for Ruben, please put it in the comments and he'll answer it. And then we'll keep going from there with some music. So does anybody have anything they would like to ask Ruben?
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy. Y'all got him right now.
Come on now. Look at that, right above me. Tell me that's not a coincidence.
Wow.
And I just came to the station right here because this is a part of San Jose. A street is called Alum Rock. This is rock right here. All day, baby.
That's a blessing.
Amen. He's around me. Definitely around me.
Absolutely. So Ruben, again, thank you so much for the interview.
I was gonna tell everybody though. I was gonna say real quick though. So stay tuned because if you guys notice on my Facebook page, I have a release, CD release of Rocky Legacy in 3 days, right? So I'm gonna go live. More in detail on that. It's gonna be a surprise. I'm not gonna say too much, but I have that a release coming up on my brother's, this tribute CD for my brothers. So stay tuned for that.
Okay, we will.
And, but I guess nobody out there wants to ask any questions. Oh, right there it says our T-shirts coming out. That right there, you got, okay, Rebecca Ramirez, you're asking me that question. The answer to your question, my sister-in-law, you would have to go to, if you go on Ernesto P. Ramos Jr., Ernesto P. Ramos Jr. Facebook, you go to there, go to that, message my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, Jennifer, and she'll get you a T-shirt. And she's right now in the process of selling T-shirts to my brother.
Okay. Thank you for that
Um,
information. Anybody else?
Thank you, Carmela Pesaturo. Did I say that right? I hope I didn't slaughter your last name.
Pestaro.
Pestaro. I said it way different. Pestaro. Thank you. I will keep up the great work, much as I can for my bro. That's about it. I don't see. I just had one question. What was the name? So what was the name? No, like I said, V helped me correct your last name.
Pesaturo.
Pesaturo. Oh, I said it right the first time? I said it right the first time.
You did.
Oh.
Earl
Thank you.
Nieves.
Exactly. What she
Well,
said. What B said.
Pesaturo.
Pesaturo. Or Pesaturo. Well, you know. It says, what was the name? Oh, what was the name to where we can get the T-shirts? Go to Ernest, one of my brother's old Facebook pages, Ernesto P. Ramos Jr. Ernesto, I'll write it right now, just so you'll know. Ernesto P. Ramos Jr. Go to that on Facebook, Carmela, and you'll and just send my sister a request or send her a friend request or whatever, and then she will get back at you on that quick. I'll contact her for you if I have to, and then she'll take it there. She'll take it from there. They're already in the process of getting the shirts for you guys.
You're welcome. Okay, Ruben, it was my pleasure talking to you. I'll hit you up tonight.
Okay.
And God bless to you and your family. And
Thank you so
you know
much.
what? We definitely gonna touch down on that hip hop.
We will. I like what I was listening to the other night. Oh, damn. I got a burst for that. And I got some melodies to layer over that. So just
Okay.
call me later. What time you gonna call me?
You know what? I'll wait for you to call me. How's that?
That's dope. I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll do that because out here it's a 3-hour difference. So 6 something over there going on 7. So it's barely 5 or no 3. Oh, it's 4 o'clock. It's gonna be 4. Going on
Right
4
now
over
it's
here.
7 o'clock.
Okay, so I'll call you like in about 9.
When you're ready.
Or around 9. I will.
Okay.
God bless.
Thank you.
Much love to everybody, to all my brothers fans out there. Peace.
Peace.